Okay, so I'm here with Victoria Munoz and Dan Holmes. And you knew Adam's mother, Nancy. Is that right?
Yes.
What was she like as a person, or what respect did you know her?
She's really a very happy person. Very well put together. Very excited about life generally.
Yeah. And did you know Adam at all, or did you know Ryan?
I didn't know the rest of her family. I just knew her from hanging out sometimes. I knew she, used to go to Boston quite a bit. We were just saying, and she liked the Red Sox.
What did she work at? What was her?
As far as I know, I don't think she had a job per se. She was divorced and she lived with her son Adam right here in town.
She was very private.
She was pretty private. She was protective of her son.
Was there a reason for she was protective of her son, or?
She always mentioned that he had kind of social, kept himself away from people quite a bit. And she was concerned always about that, but she was pretty well buttoned up type of person, so she didn't, I don't, you probably hung out with her as much as I did, and I didn't really ever get a chance to really get to know her. But she would frequent a bar that we would go to here in town, my place. It's a beer bar. And she loved craft beer, and so we chew the fat, and talk about things. She was a very, very affectionate person, but I'd say that
very smart, very intelligent woman. But she kept her life separate, her family life separate from her social life, for sure.
And you've learned of the news, obviously. How is that affecting you as being friends of Nancy? Very
upsetting. It's very upsetting. It puts a whole different perspective on this whole thing. It's bad enough to hear the news about so many people being killed at once, but then when it's somebody that's closer to you, it's 10 times worse. What do you say?
I would. I feel like, in some ways, as a community, we have, all of us knew a little bit, but maybe we didn't know to what extent, she was in pain or her son was in pain, and, as a community, there's kind of a responsibility
to recognize it,
for sure, and to pray that it doesn't happen again. We can do something about it.
Yes, I think this is a matter of maybe her son had a good deal of problems with his mental illness and was becoming uncontrollable, possibly. And that's what happened. I'm sure she was a responsible gun owner because she was that kind of person.
When it comes to gun ownership, do you guys own guns?
I do not.
No.
What's your take on?
I don't need a gun, but I think, I understand the law that the gun should be locked up, and I think, responsible gun owners take on that responsibility, and she was one of those. I believe what I understand is she used to shoot. She grew up on a farm, and liked to...
She would take her kids target shooting. She loved to take her kids target shooting. That was her passion. She was definitely a gun enthusiast. She had a collection. I had seen a couple of her beautiful old rifles that she was just pretty proud of.
Hey Liz, how are you?
And like I said, that was one of her pastimes. She would talk about doing that as kind of her release. That's all I know.
Where were you yesterday when the shootings took place?
I was at work in Hartford, Connecticut.
Love the car seat.
Most of the people where I work don't know where Sandy Hook is. They were very far removed.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you.